Our scripture today is 1 Samuel 29. The battle between the Philistines and the Israelites was gearing up, but the captains of the Philistines refused to allow David and his men to join the battle. They were worried that David would have a change of heart and betray them during the battle. Achish asked David to remain behind. If you think about it, this was God's grace in action. If David fought for the Philistines, he would have been fighting against his own God and country. If he had a change of heart and fought for the Israelites, he would have been deceitful to Achish, who had been very good to him. Either way, he would be disgraced. It is a difficult thing to come near the brink of sin and not fall in. God's people should always behave in such a manner as to not bring a reproach. Anyone that we have dealings with should be able to speak well of us. Keep this in mind. The Philistines knew who David really was, even if David didn't. He was a Hebrew at heart. It is a terrible thing when the world has a higher sense of propriety than we ourselves. David had too much of the world in him to be at peace with the Lord, and too much of the Lord to be at peace in the world. God did not abandon David in his backslidden state of mind. Instead, he made a way of escape. And now for Samuel 29. Now the Philistines gathered together all their armies to Aphek, and the Israelites pitched by a fountain which is in Jezreel. And the lords of the Philistines passed on by hundreds and by thousands. But David and his men passed on in the reward with Achish. Then said the princes of the Philistines, What do these Hebrews here? And Achish said unto the princes of the Philistines, Is not this David, the servant of Saul, the king of Israel, which hath been with me these days or these years? And I have found no fault in him, since he fell unto me unto this day. And the princes of the Philistines were wroth with him. And the princes of the Philistines said unto him, Make this fellow return, that he may go again to his place which thou hast appointed him, and let him not go down with us to battle, lest in the battle he be an adversary to us. For wherewith should he reconcile himself unto his master? Should it not be with the heads of these men? Is not this David, of whom they sang one to another in dances, saying, Saul slew his thousands, and David his 10,000s? Then Achish called David, and said unto him, Surely as the Lord liveth, thou hast been upright, and thy going out and thy coming in with me in the host is good in my sight. For I have not found evil in thee since the day of thy coming unto me unto this day. Nevertheless, the Lord favor thee not. Wherefore now return and go in peace, that thou displease not the lords of the Philistines. And David said unto Achish, But what have I done? And what hast thou found in thy servant so long as I have been with thee unto this day, that I may not go fight against the enemies of my lord the king? And Achish answered and said to David, I know that thou art good in my sight, as an angel of God. Notwithstanding, the princes of the Philistines have said, He shall not go up with us to the battle. Wherefore now rise up early in the morning with thy master's servants that are come with thee, and as soon as ye be up early in the morning and have light, depart. So David and his men rose up early to depart in the morning, to return into the land of the Philistines. And the Philistines went up to Jezreel. Our prayer today should be one of worship. Thank the Lord that He is not some distant spectator just sitting back watching us. I want you to think of a time that you wanted to take matters into your own hands, but the Lord made a way of escape for you. Worship Him today for His care, mercy, and grace. Fix your eyes upon Jesus. You can count on Him to deliver you.